back to the Afia Morning Weekend Show with me, your amazing host. I know it's been a minute, and yes, I'm not doing this alone. I have a very fine young lady, someone you would say black is beautiful, yes, and someone who's actually, I don't know, something happened 2025. I don't know where she got the sudden spark of I don't know, it just dawned on her like, hey, I need to start making content and putting out there. And it's just like you slept up and then you woke up and you had a dream, and in that dream they gave you like a magic wand, like boom, get up. And she got up, and ever since then she's been creating amazing content and putting out there. And at times I look at it and I'm like shocked. I'm like, whoa, I don't know if you get this kind of gift or this kind of talent, but it's all good. Ladies and germs, the very beautiful Ogochukwu Osai.
Now, still finish the course of the thing, because if not...
No, but it's true now.
Thank you. Anyways, thank you so much.
But let's talk about that.
So what are we talking about?
Let's talk about the sudden spark. What actually prompted you to just, it's like, I don't know what happens.
Okay,
but
so
2025,
what
like,
you saw felt like a sudden spark.
For
But
me, because, from the outside.
Yeah, but it's a long term of preparing, processing, learning before we got to that point where I began to make content that you saw that looked like a sudden spark.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's my, just like you said, it's something I learned. I've put in the work. I've learned for a period of time, and I felt like, yeah, I need to put out things. I need to, share my knowledge with people and also build my brand. So yeah.
At what point did it dawn on you that, you need to start doing these things?
Last year.
Last year?
Yes.
Wow. Why?
Because it's something I suppose that someone who is climbing the career ladder, the corporate ladder, it's very important that you also build your brand. It helps you. It saves you from a lot of things, and it also helps you as you continue to progress in your career. So it gets to a point where you're able to build your brand, and it's something that you get to a point where you don't have to chase, you attract using your brand,
true.
right? So that's the focus, where we get to the point where we attract instead of chase it, right?
I love it. You
Thank
said the
you.
career ladder. Please, where is the ladder now?
We are 3 years in, and we are going. So we've come to a state that's now. So we've passed, me from learning period.
Yeah.
So we've passed that stage of just learning. Now we've learned to the point we are going to be sharing with people as we continue to learn, because learning is something that is constant as well. So we've learned enough to an extent where we can share our knowledge with other people and help others as they climb as well.
I love the fact. So where I was driving at, while I was asking where you kept the ladder now, and you mentioned the fact of helping others, because there's so many persons who actually need this ladder. I could think of, one name would just come to mind. You know someone called Henry. Yes, I believe he needs that ladder to actually climb up in 2025, so he can actually find himself, because it looks like he's lost. You agree?
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree.
Yeah.
I know why you don't agree, but then I
Please,
agree, and I
don't
know what
leave
I'm
me
saying.
alone.
But it's all good. All right, now I'm loving the fact that we actually started off with this, because our topic of today actually, dwells around it. Should parents have an input in their children's career? First off, let me start by asking you, whilst growing up, what did you want to become?
Oh, okay. So growing up, first of all, I know that I never wanted to be anything that had to do with the three main careers that we always have: the nurse, doctor, lawyer stuff. It's never
Was
been
nurse there?
Yes, we have nursing, we
nursing?
have doctor, but it's majorly lawyer, doctor, and engineer. So, but I knew that I never, even when I had people growing up that always say, go for this, because they felt like I was intelligent to go for it, but it was never something I wanted to do. And I have always been a multi-potential like that, like pay attention to a lot of things. I've always wanted to be a lot of things growing up, right? So I can't remember having one particular thing in mind. There were times I wanted to be a pilot. There were times I wanted to be a teacher. There were times, but when I got to a point of taking the decision for myself, I wanted to be a medical radiographer.
Wow.
Yes, that was basically what I wanted. I fought for it.
A medical radiographer at a young age. You knew what that was?
Yes. When I was exposed to it,
about?
this was in my primary 4.
Primary 4?
Yes. Yeah, I got to meet somebody that was a medical. Okay, so I suffered.
Wow.
I suffered pneumonia.
Okay.
So going to the hospital, meeting a doctor. I was sent to go for a lab test. That was where I got to know the person. So he was very friendly. So from there, you know, people that will just pay attention to you, anything you're saying, they want to answer you, they can engage your conversation. So that was where it started. He was now the one that told me that he's a medical radiographer, and because of him, I wanted to be a medical radiographer.
So it was a he.
So moving on.
Oh God, wait. It was a he. At 4?
Yes, it was a he.
At 4?
Yeah. That was 9 years.
9 years.
So what are you trying to say?
I mean, you guys should understand exactly
Understand what?
At 9 years old in primary 4, you meet a guy who's a medical radiographer, and because he was so
Your
caring,
mind is so dirty.
no, I'm just saying he was so
that you
caring
need some
and
help.
you know took care of you, talked to you in a polite way, and then all of a sudden you throw away your dream of becoming a pilot and you want to become a medical radiographer.
So what did I explain to you first? Before you now left everything I was saying and now picked on this particular thing. Good thing, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's not a bad thing.
Did you tell your mom at the time?
My mom was there when everything was happening.
She saw the care.
She was there. She's
She
my
witnessed
mom.
it.
Yes.
And then you went back home and told her you wanted to become this thing that this guy. Did you tell your mom?
Yes. It's something I said every single time people knew about it.
And your mom said nothing.
Toku, please. What did you want to be when we were growing up?
I just want to
what?
know.
No.
You know we need to investigate this thing.
You want to use me as your subject to do your investigation?
If you actually watch...
You're learning investigative journalism
There's
with
a
me.
skit I've been watching recently by Chris Clown where he has these therapy sessions, you know, and when these guys come, he likes taking them back from when they started, when they were kids, because according to him, we need to start from the beginning. You get, so we understand exactly. But
there's nothing to understand.
Okay, nice. But at a point in time, did your parents actually have a say? Did they tell you, I wanted you to become this? Because whilst growing up, that was the trend way back.
Yeah, that's one thing I never experienced with my mom and my dad. Even up until now, if I say I'm not doing this one again, and I say that this is what I want to do, and they see that I'm very interested in it, and they see me doing it, they're not stopping me. They will not say anything. And that's been one thing that has helped me learn so much skills and all that. So even when I started this particular internship that brought me here, so one thing about my mom was basically at the beginning, she wanted me to just focus on my education. I wanted to learn other things. But I realized that that was what she wanted. So I went ahead with other things I wanted to learn without her knowing. So when I now learn it, or when I now do that thing and she see me doing it perfectly, we move on.
Oh,
so that was the formula I used, and with time she understood that this is my kind of person, and she gave me room. But my dad from the beginning was not. He was not really. If anything you want to do, once it's legit, please go ahead.
Wow, that's cool. And that I would say is a little bit tricky. You know, I say this because so many parents out there actually want to have a say in their children's life. I don't know if it's still, you know, that's out there like it used to be way back in the day. Because I know way back in the day, they always wanted you to become a doctor, an engineer, you know, a lawyer, because that was the trend. And they believe that these guys were the super kids way back in the day. Because I actually remember my uncle wanting me to become a doctor. You know, because, it's not like I'm bragging, but because I was damn too intelligent at the time. And then he say, hey, you just have to become a doctor. But I didn't want to become a doctor. You know, I was just trailing that part because he said it, you know, and because he was paying the fees. So I was just like, okay, let's be going there. You know, and it got to a point where I realized that I didn't want to become all of these things. You know, I just wanted to be should I say an entertainer? You know, because I sing. I wanted to become an artist, you know, and then I just knew I could act as well. I was an actor. I'm still an actor, you know, did so many plays in school and all that. That was just my life. So I think when I got to SS1, that's where you now decide whether you go to science or art. And guess what? I had to go to science because then in school, if you were an art student, they would still look at you like you never really get. So you just had to belong where they belong. But then, trust me, I was hating physics, chemistry, biology, maybe, because anything calculation, anything that would stress my brain,
You
I
don't
know
like
they
it.
did. So I just wanted the papa. But then I was cool in school. I was the one going to I think I remember they call it the form teachers, the staff room. They'll give you notes to come and copy on the
no
board.
prefect.
I never had a note, like in school, like this is my
Wow.
note. No, I just take that one, and once I'm writing it on the board,
You're
most of the time
okay.
the thing they enter my head, you get
You're
like
okay.
that. And in the exam, I'm still the guy that will come and copy and say, please let me do you understand?
True.
But besides that, I wouldn't really say I wanted to become this, I wanted to become this. I just wanted to be an artist. I just wanted to sing. I just wanted to do anything entertaining. I just wanted to act. That was just what I've been loving from day one, And it got to a point, I wrote my WAEC, did science, and I passed. Don't ask me how, but I still passed, And then working out, and that was when I now told myself, because at that point in time, it's sort of like you now have
You
a
own
say.
yourself.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh man, I do not want to do this thing. Crazy part, went into the university, started off geology and mining, and then it was boring. Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. I wouldn't go to class because it was boring. And in my school then, you had like, in your first year, you have like over 1,000 students in a hall.
In a hall.
So, and they tell you they fix classes by 7, and you get there at, say, past 7 to 8, and then the class is already filled up, and you see people sitting on the floor, you're wondering, now this thing I want to do for the next 1 year or so to come and be sitting in the front, And then I found a way and switched to music. It was crazy, but then I had to navigate my way. And I started off doing music. And it was just so much fun. Yeah.
It was fun for you.
It was it's something like you're doing what you want to do. I never will miss class. I always want, because we're always doing drama, we're always dancing and doing all of those things. And then from music, it was one thing or the other. So bottom line is, parents should have,
yes, to an extent.
Because it will guide the child.
I feel like it should be a guardian.
Yeah.
So guide them. When you see that they're interested in something, let them be.
Yeah.
For somebody like me, I knew somewhere in me that I loved art. I love drama. I don't do singing because I was never interested in singing, and I don't sing well. I don't have the voice to sing. Hold it. I give it to you.
Be honest. Yeah.
But I was so interested in everything. My dad loves radio so much. So I was very curious to understand those voices I hear in radio, how it works, you understand? So I've always had it in mind that I love art, but I never want to do it in the confinement of a school or like 4 walls of the university. It was never my thing. So I loved science out of curiosity as well. I wanted to just do science and maybe get to love science, you understand? So I did well in school, even up until now, I'm still in the science field in school. But I just love that I have a part of me that is doing science and doing it well, and a part of me that is doing art and doing it well. And this is something I think it was there right from beginning. And I love that my parents never interfered. They were just okay with it. Yeah. Even when I came up, when I told them about the internship and they were like, are you going to be able to combine it with your school? I explained that the organization gave me the permission to do so. And since then, it's been a fun ride for me. It's been something I've been enjoying doing. I feel like I get bored doing one thing for a long time. So being able to do this part and do this part is something I really enjoy and has been driving me. So when you have a child like that and you understand it, I feel it's okay to let them be and just guide them in order to just get ahead. With time, they will be able to narrow. Being able to experience everything, it has come to a point where I've been able to narrow to the things I want, to where I want to focus on. And that's why you're seeing me posting. You understand? So I've been able to grow, learn a lot of things, now narrow my skills, narrow my knowledge to where I want to monetize. You understand? Yeah. So, but if I wasn't exposed to this whole thing, maybe I wouldn't be able to do it. So,
all right. You probably meant maybe if you had not met people like me who inspire you to do better.
Yeah, thank you so much for inspiring me.
Don't say this thing out. I don't want it out there, please. That's why I said initially that it's tricky for your parents and your kind of parents or the kind of parenting you actually witness as a child, because so many kids out there or children or adults now out there, you know, who had the same kind of parents that you had that wanted you to choose what you want to become. At the end of the day, they go astray.
Do I completely believe?
Okay, so I say it because I've seen cases where the parents allow you just do whatever you want to. And at the end of the day, these kids turn out what they probably didn't want to.
Okay.
I mean, I know it probably now boils down to the kind of child, you know, that you actually have raised.
But you know, at the same time, if you force them to do what you want them to do, they'll still turn out where they are.
Yeah. So now,
So I think it's a child's thing. It's the
Yeah.
person's thing. If this is what you think you like, this is something you're drawn to, I feel it's okay to go ahead. Now, if your parents force you to do it, now there are people that don't want to do anything. They just want to wake up and be trust fund kids. Now, that's
yeah.
a very different ball game that you just want to lazy around. You don't want to do anything with your life. It's a different ball game. You understand? You turn out the way you want to turn out. It's nobody's fault, because if your parents had pushed you to be something, maybe put you in a private university, pay everything to make sure that you're okay, you still not read your books, you still not pay attention, you still not giving that time that you need to give in to learn those things you need to learn, you understand? So I feel it's a personal decision to do what you want to do. Now, where the parents come in is to see that this is what you want. Assuming I loved music and I come to my parents and say I love music, they're like, what is music? Go and do this. That's not what you're going to do. I'm not going to pay school fees for somebody that wants to study music in school.
True.
That's not guiding. You're taking away what the person enjoys from them. But if you come and we see that you're very passionate about music, you've learned how to play guitar, you've learned how to play piano, you've learned how to play drum, and we see you being all into this whole thing, and we support you to go ahead. At the end of the day, you're going to make out something very big from that career, you understand? So that's a different thing. When someone has passion for something and enjoys something, you stop them from doing it because you feel like it's not really the top 10 of what they are supposed to do. And somebody wants to just be a trust fund kid that wants to wake up and be fed. They just want to make money from I don't know where, and not stress and not put in the work to make that money.
All right. So the model of the story is not force them, but guide them.
Guide them.
And pay attention to them, because most parents don't even know what their kids want to become.
That's another thing.
You should see this thing as a parent at a very young age and know that this is the line that this child is going, and just guide them. You know, give them materials that could actually support their career. If they want to become a doctor, I mean, there are cartoons, there are doctor cartoons. You know,
there are movies.
There are movies you can put, you know, that would guide them into becoming these things. And yeah, just try to give them the life that you never had. Because some parents still have that mentality that because my parents forced me to, so my own child must.
And another thing, I feel like it shouldn't be a force. Another thing that can happen is your child mirror on you. I've seen an accountant.
Okay, nice.
I've seen an accountant that is doing so well, and her first daughter mirrored him. So now the first daughter is, I think she just graduated from, I think she's just in first year in a private university, and she's taking some accounting examinations. So she has certifications in accounting, and that's what she's studying in school as well. Now, this is your child mirroring you because they love what you're doing. You don't force them.
Yeah.
You understand? You don't force it on them. So it's another thing, if your child wants to mirror you, support them, it's okay. Than forcing a child, maybe because you're a doctor and you're doing well, you have a hospital that you already have, and you want them to be a doctor to manage that hospital.
Take over the hospital.
No, I think it's you need to understand, if they want to mirror you and become a doctor to manage your hospital, it's a very good thing. But if they don't want to, please don't shove it down their throat.
Study their body language. When you take them to the hospital and watch how they react when they're in the hospital. So so parents, I guess you've learned something new today. Yep, I mean, we learn things every day, and bottom line is guide your kids to become what they want to become. Do not force them. Whatever they say what they want to become, as long as it's legit. I mean, it sounds like, I don't want to say everything is paying in 2025, but then, yes, we have those things that you probably looked at way back in the day and said, hey, this thing is not working out. You can't be a footballer. You can't be a content creator. I mean, these guys are making millions on the daily. So, yes, it's 2025. Wake up, guide your kids. Do not force them. to become what they do not want to become. Because trust me, you will live to regret it. All right, so that's all we can take on that. We go for a quick break right now. When we get back, we check out what's happening on the front pages of the dailies this morning. The show returns in a minute.